Welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Sports Show where we love Seattle Pro Sports. I'm your host, Mikey, and we are here to do another episode, another mini episode of a mock draft. And by now, you've heard Quandre Diggs, Jamal Adams, Will Disley all being cut. You may have noticed in the previous mock drafts that I've been doing that I have been targeting safeties. I have been consistently getting a tight end. Those were positions I thought were and players I thought were going to be cut and that they were going to be positions of need. So we were addressing those. And we're going to continue to address those until free agency starts in the week. And if they address those positions in free agency, then we will adjust how we're doing these mock drafts. But for now, I think that's what we would want the Seahawks to do if the roster was constructed as the way it is now. Those are positions of need and what you would want them to target. But again, you never know how the draft is going to fall to you. You never know how the mock is going to fall to you. So let's see how this goes, and we will see what we want to do in this mock draft here. Okay. Got some trade offers. Not taking any of these. We are sticking with our number 16 pick. And just because I think this was fun and this would be, a fun idea based off of players we just let go. Does Mike McDonald tell John Schneider, I need a new weapon in the backfield? Not just a safety, not just a corner, not just a nickel corner. Somebody who can play all of those positions. Somebody who can play linebacker. Somebody who can return punts. Who's a player who did all of those things? Who played every position in the backfield? Who can play linebacker in big nickel situations? Who can return punts? Who is that? That is Iowa's Cooper DeJean. And so that's who we are taking here at pick number 16. And he could be that sort of weapon that you want to see in a Mike McDonald system and take advantage of being able to play so many different positions, being able to take advantage of the way that Mike McDonald disguises his scheme so well, and never knowing who's actually covering, who's blitzing, who's dropping back into which zone, which guy's in man. Just so much fun. Okay, so we landed on that. We got a couple more trade offers here. With what we have, I do want to pick up. I need to pick up more picks in general. So I think we will trade back. So we're basically, we're going to trade back with Cincinnati to pick 80 and then pick up pick 175 from them as well. So now when we take our next pick here, good trade offer again. I'm going to accept a trade with Houston. They are swapping 78 and 86, and we're picking up pick 128 as well. And then we're going to stick with what we got. So we're picking at pick number 80 here. We've gotten Cooper DeJean. Okay, so we need to. Okay, this is a player. Like I said, they updated these rankings. This was a player that they had like somewhere in the hundreds before, and I was taking advantage of that. And now they have him all the way up at 78. Christian Mahogany, the guard out of Boston College. We need to address this offensive line still. So let's do that. Our next pick here coming at 86. And my goodness, looks like we have uh, again. It's very likely we're going to need to address linebackers still as well. You've seen me address that in every one of these mock drafts. So let's address that here with Trevin Wallace. Again, somebody we know that they've been looking at and had meeting with at the combine. So we're getting Trevin Wallace. Okay, we're hitting a bunch of needs here still at this point. Let's see. Here again, here's another one that we can I was thinking offensive line again here, but no. If Cade Silver is still here available at 119, again, cutting Will Disley, I mean, there's a chance we could sign him back again on a cheaper contract than what he was getting. But why do that when you can go get a new young tight end in Cade Silver out of Ohio State? You do it. It's a new regime. It's a new era. It's time to move on. It's time to get new players and build, retool this roster. Okay, we're at pick 128, and lucky us, the way this draft has fallen, we still get a player that I was just thinking about taking pick a go with offensive guard. Wait a minute. Let me see how this is. Okay. Okay. Mm, mm, is that what I want to do? Okay. You know, uh, yes, it is. I'm going to take Mason McCormick, the guard out of South Dakota State. Okay, so we're addressing that still. Now I feel like we have addressed the offensive line. We got our weapon with Cooper DeJean. Let's go ahead and now we've gotten quite a few good picks already. So what do we want to do? What do we want to go after at this point? We're looking at. We can. Do we want another safety project guy who's actually going to play safety? But we're keeping Love. It sounds like, so maybe we don't need to do that. So, geez, I'm actually having a tough choice with this one, but I think I will take. They don't have his info, but I'm going to take Jordan Jefferson, defensive tackle out of LSU. Again, big guy up the middle who can eat up blocks. So let's take that there. We can address defensive line here as well. Okay, we're at pick 175 that we got in a trade as well. And let's see what we got here. Okay. Again, I feel like they do need to be taking a quarterback as well to develop, because I'm not wanting to get Drew Lock back and pay him whatever you're going to have to pay him. So I'm taking Joe Milton here at 175. Our next pick is coming in at 194. And, okay, we've gotten Trevin Wallace. That was our linebacker that we took so far. We did not take another linebacker, so I am taking Maris Liafau out of Notre Dame, linebacker. Next pick coming in at 233. Oh, my goodness. And if this is the way it falls, I still feel like we can address edge, we can address linebacker, we can address whatever we want here. We could bring somebody in just to uh, fill a role and a need. But I think what we'll do with our final pick is take Gabriel Murphy, edge out of UCLA. Again, the linebackers and edge players out of UCLA who aren't named Liatu. Yeah, they're not getting picked first overall, but I think they're all still very solid. So there you go, Gabriel Murphy. And there you go. That is going to be this mock draft. Again, inspired by the moves that were just made by the Seahawks. We're getting Cooper DeJean. We're getting that. Yes, you could say his corner. They list him here as safety. But again, he played corner in college. Everybody's just saying like, oh well, his build, because he is like a six. What did he weigh in at? It was like, I know he's like 6'2", and then weighed in at like 220. He's basically linebacker size, playing corner, right? So they're saying like, because he's that size, he could easily move to safety at the NFL level. So again, he can be that weapon. We know he's got that explosiveness, that playmaking that you can have at the position of corner, nickel corner, safety, linebacker. We've seen him doing that in college. Mike McDonald would love a weapon like that, because we've seen him use players like that in Baltimore last year. So you're getting him, you're getting your Christian Mahogany, you're getting your Trevin Wallace. So you're addressing the line, offensive line, the linebacker. You're getting Cade Stover to replace Will Disley. Again, some depth players here at this point for the line. Mason McCormick, Jordan Jefferson. Those are guys you're bringing in for depth. Joe Milton, your project. Maris Leafau, again, need more depth for linebackers and people competing. Gabriel Murphy as well, being those guys that are going to compete in those areas. All right, so there you go. Let me know what you would grade this draft in general. Let me know what you think of all those releases and how that is going to affect the draft coming up. All right, so let me know what you give this: A, B, C, D, F. Leave it in the comments. Subscribe, hit the like button, and that's going to be the episode. So thanks for listening to the Seattle Sports Show, where we watch legends awaken. So take cover, because with a sea of sound, you will see us rise to reign supreme and win forever.